On July 21st, 2025, just a day before his death, Ozzy Osbourne shared what would become his final Instagram post. The post was a simple backstage photograph bearing the signage for the monumental Back to the Beginning, the Final Show, a farewell concert for Black Sabbath held on July 5, 2025, at Villa Park in Birmingham, Ozzy's hometown. Notably, the post carried no caption, only the image itself, and in retrospect, has come to be seen as a deeply meaningful farewell gesture. The significance of the post. This final image showcased a backstage poster listing the original members, Ozzy Osbourne, Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, Bill Ward, under the bold headline, The Final Show. No words were needed. The photo itself resonated with poignancy and gravity, especially as grief and shock spread following news of his passing on July 22nd at age 76. At the time, the Instagram post appeared simply as a genuine nod to a monumental event. In the wake of his death, fans and friends returned to the comments section to reminisce, express gratitude, and find solace. Comments ranged from reflections such as, "He got to say goodbye," to, "Thank you for sharing your life with us," their brevity reflecting the profound impact Ozzy had long before. The farewell concert, Back to the Beginning. Announced by Ozzy and Sharon Osbourne in early 2025, the Back to the Beginning concert was more than a show, it was a closure. The event reunited Black Sabbath's original lineup for the first time since 2005 and served as Ozzy's farewell to live performance. Proceeds supported Cure Parkinson's, Birmingham Children's Hospital, and Acorn Children's Hospice. On July 5th, a frail Osbourne, debilitated by long-standing Parkinson's disease and injuries from a 2003 ATV accident, took the stage seated on a custom throne. Relying on a cane in rehearsals and needing help from his bandmates, he delivered an emotional seated performance, his first solo set in nearly 7 years, before joining Black Sabbath for their final collective bow on stage. During the show, Ozzy addressed the crowd. "It's so good to be on this stage. You have no idea how I feel. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love you. We love you." The set list included classics like War Pigs, Iron Man, and Paranoid, followed by tributes from heavy metal icons including Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Anthrax, Slayer, and Pantera. Hosts and surprise guest appearances, such as Jack Black recreating Mr. Crowley, added emotional flair to a day of celebration, reflection, and broadcast anticipation. Emotional and physical toll. Black Sabbath's longtime bassist Geezer Butler later reflected that the experience of watching Ozzy that night was emotionally devastating. In a Sunday Times essay, he described Ozzy as physically frailty so profound it broke from tradition. The band did not take a collective bow at the end because Ozzy could not stand. Butler remembered Ozzy as having a heart of gold and spoke of their 57-year friendship with deep affection. Biographer Daniel Bookspan also weighed in, noting that while the performance initially seemed exploitative, a spectacle of suffering, it later felt like a deliberate, dignified farewell. A symbolic Irish wake that Ozzy orchestrated on his own terms. The Instagram post as a farewell gesture. Viewed with hindsight, that final Instagram post feels almost prophetic. Ozzy chose not to flesh it out with words. Instead, the stark image spoke volumes. It marked the end of an era, Black Sabbath's final live performance, Ozzy's final bow. Critics and fans alike now see it as a subtle, courageous sign-off from a man who never courted sympathy, but always delivered soul-stirring presence. Death and legacy. Ozzy Osbourne passed away on July 22, 2025, at the age of 76, peacefully at home surrounded by loved ones. An air ambulance was dispatched to his Buckinghamshire residence in an attempt to provide advanced care, though to no effect. His death came just over 2 weeks after the farewell concert, amplifying the emotional echo of the final performance. His family's statement asked for privacy, emphasizing the love and care with which he was surrounded during his final hours. Reflection on a final bow. Ozzy Osbourne's final Instagram post stands as a monument to restraint, dignity, and thoughtful reflection. Without a caption, without fanfare, it encapsulated closure. Fans in the comments instinctively sensed its significance. What was meant for remembrance became a universal goodbye. The story of his final show is one of profound contrasts. A band that defined heavy metal, performing alongside their biggest admirers, a man who survived decades of personal turmoil and illness, giving one final gift to the fans and the city that shaped him. This ending quiet, symbolic, controlled spoke to the artist he was, always fierce, often beastly, but ultimately human, vulnerable, and deeply grateful. No words were necessary. The photo, the image, the moment would speak for him. And speak it has echoing through fandom, music history, and the hearts of those inspired by Ozzy Osbourne's journey. Summary. Last Instagram post, shared July 21st, 2025. A backstage photo of a Back to the Beginning, the Final Show poster. No caption. Farewell concert, held July 5th, 2025 at Villa Park, Birmingham. Ozzy's final live performance with Black Sabbath's original lineup. Ozzy's health, battling Parkinson's disease and chronic injuries, performed seated and frail, assisted on stage, death. Died July 22nd, 2025, age 76. Peacefully at home, surrounded by family. Inside Ozzy Osbourne's Final Show. From Entertainment Weekly, this article dives into the July 5th, 2025, Back to the Beginning farewell concert, Ozzy's final appearance, seated on a throne due to advancing Parkinson's, and supported by his original Black Sabbath bandmates. The 10-hour star-studded benefit raised a staggering $140 million for charity, sold out in minutes, and reached a live stream audience of 5.8 million viewers. Metal's Live Aid, The Guardian review. This review frames the concert as a monumental send-off, emotionally charged, musically epic, featuring guest acts like Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Tool, and Pantera. The original Black Sabbath lineup reunited for their final performance, closing an unforgettable chapter at Villa Park in Birmingham. Ozzy's frailty yet power, according to his biographer. Biographer Daniel Buxpan offers a deeply personal perspective, witnessing Ozzy's physical decline during the concert, initially viewing it as potentially exploitative, but later, understanding it as Ozzy's own carefully orchestrated farewell, his way of saying goodbye on his terms. Geezer Butler's reflections on 57 years of friendship. In People. Sunday Times, bassist Geezer Butler reveals the emotional weight of the farewell show. He recounts Ozzy's physical fragility and the absence of a final group bow due to Ozzy's condition. Yet, he remembered Ozzy's warmth and loyalty, closing their journey with love and respect. Guardian analysis, fragility as Osbourne's last musical strength. This piece observes how Ozzy's final performance became an act of emotional truth. Despite physical limitations, his presence, vulnerable yet powerful, allowed fans to witness the heart of his legacy. The show wasn't solemn, it felt transcendent. People exclusive, Ozzy's final days at home. This intimate report describes Ozzy's final moments. Passing peacefully on July 22, 2025, at age 76, surrounded by wife Sharon and family in Buckinghamshire. In his last days, he found comfort in music and loved ones, with Sharon described as his unwavering support throughout their 63-year partnership. Key highlights from the final show. Historic reunion and farewell. Black Sabbath's original lineup reunited for the first time since 2005, capping their career with 4 signature tracks: War Pigs, NIB, Iron Man, and Paranoid. Ozzy's solo set. Despite his worsening Parkinson's, Ozzy performed 5 solo classics from a throne, including I Don't Know, Mr. Crowley, Suicide Solution, Crazy Train, and the poignant ballad, Mama, I'm Coming Home. Charity milestone. The concert broke records, raising between $140 million and $190 million, making it the highest-grossing charity concert ever. All proceeds supported Birmingham Children's Hospital, Cure Parkinson's, and Acorns Children's Hospice. Star-studded tributes. Acts like Metallica, Slayer, Tool, Pantera, Hailstorm, Mastodon, and others paid homage through collaborative sets, culminating in a final drum circle and guest appearances from the likes of Steven Tyler, Jack Black, Billy Corgan, and more. Emotional resonance. The crowd of 45,000 at Villa Park, joined by 5.8 million live-stream viewers, responded to Ozzy's final bow with tears and gratitude, acknowledging not just a farewell show, but the end of an era. Aspect details. Doty's venue, July 5, 2025. Villa Park, Birmingham. Audience 45,000 attendees. Ver 5.8 many are global livestream viewers. Charity funds raised $140 M. $190 M. Supporting Parkinson's research and children's causes. Ozzy's health performances from seated throne, due to Parkinson's and other physical challenges. Legacy moment final live appearance by Ozzy and Black Sabbath's original lineup.